All right, well, I appreciate you guys taking the time here again, and thank you, Justin. Justin is, he's been speaking internationally. In fact, you know, one of the things that I asked him, I walked up with him last summer down the trail, and I said, do you really want to do what I'm doing? And, you know, he was really passionate about it. Yeah, I really want to do it. And so, so I said, okay, all right, but I don't know what to talk about. And that's what came out of it. And then what he did is, the first gig he got was an international gig in Toronto. That's why you saw that whole thing about Canada. So he just stepped out from being, you know, never being in front of a crowd to being an international speaker. So give it a hand for Justin. We're proud of it. We're proud of it. I didn't pick up the trash though. Okay, so if you know of any schools or organizations, YMCA, that Justin can speak at, he's available. It's justinrenner.com. There's his phone number because I'd love to get some local things for him as well, because we are doing some traveling together. It's a lot of fun to be able to do that with my brother and my little boy. So little boy, 6'2", yeah. Okay. All right. Hey, okay, I'm going to go with my talk a little bit, but I want to first announce something pretty darn cool. This is coming up. It's on your table. It's an event at, it's a Holiday Inn, and you can register at liveoutloud.com by Austin. Has anybody heard of Shark Tank?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is one of Justin and Christine's favorite shows. There is one of the original sharks is Kenn Renner, and he will be speaking, he'll be presenting along with Laurel Langmeyer, who is a New York Times best-selling author and known as the Millionaire Maker. Her claim is that she's made more people millionaires than anybody else. And they're going to be talking, it's 2 weeks from yesterday, it's 2 Thursdays from now. It's a free event. And I get to talk, and I'll be doing sharing secrets regarding my video marketing, which is what I'm talking about with you today. So if you want to sign up for that, it is free. What Kevin's going to do, does anybody have $1 million idea? Scott did. So Scott Carson over here did, right? Somebody's got $1 million. Yeah, Mike Newton had $1 million idea many times over, right? So anyways, if you do have $1 million, he's going to set you up and show you how to pitch your $1 million idea to a shark. Sound like you've got fun?
Yeah. Okay.
All right, great. So join us on that. All right. All right. Well, I'm going to take up a little less time because we're running over. So if this goes a little bit fast, that's okay. Because if you want, I'd be more than happy to email you these slides. In fact, I'm going to do it anyway. So if you're on our email list, I'm going to go ahead and email these slides. So you don't have to really take notes, all right? Because there's, you know, we're trying to keep our time. I'll give you a quick video. Stats about YouTube. Stats. One of the things I like about doing these presentations is, let me talk about presentations that I don't like, is where you go and you go to a presentation on social media and all you get is a bunch of stats. Have you been to those kind of events? Okay, so that was my whole stat thing right there. So we can get started. Good question for you. How many people in this room have a YouTube channel? Gosh, you guys are high techies here. That's way over. How many of you actually use it in your business? Yeah, it's about the average, right? Okay, so really, in my experience, about 10% of businesses actually have a YouTube channel, and less than 1% actually use it in their business. And that's an incredible statistic if you think about it, because how many of you in the room right now have watched a YouTube video in the last week? Come on, be honest. How many of your kids watched a YouTube video recently in the last week? Okay, maybe multiple videos, all right? So the idea is, the question I have for you is, why aren't you there? Why aren't you there? It's free. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk very fast, because we only got a short period of time, right? All right, well, we've got George Bush, Justin W. Bush over here. I'm going to just give you quick examples of YouTube. When we did this video for him, we got it from the promoter, and we sent it out to some other promoters, and that's how he got his first speaking gig in San Diego in front of the secret knowledge. Mike Meeting was there, Scott Carson was there. We had a high-level CEO type meeting. It's actually a secret meeting in San Diego, and Justin was invited because of the video that he was able to send to the promoter. Okay. My daughter, Christine, who was the one who said, I want to be a singer, is the one where she went to the talent contest but didn't get any callbacks, didn't get any recognition, except that she put a little QR code, put a QR code on her demo CD with her picture and everything like that. Well, guess what? 2 months after the event, I get a call from Tape Music Publishing, and they said, whose idea was it to put a QR code with a video on it on the front? I go, well, it was mine, but just that was brilliant. We were all sitting around our office, and we did our QR code with the phone. You know what QR code is, right? The big squares, what's behind Scott Carson, a Rubik's Cube, as one of my builders called it. Okay, and they scan it with their phone, and all of a sudden comes up a video. And it was a video for her studio, and she did a cover tune. And sure enough, they called her up and said, we'd like to give her a record deal. So we just got done in Oklahoma City, recorded the tracks. By next month, we're going to do the final vocal tracks. And within by spring or summertime, she will, at 14 years old, have her first professionally produced, recorded album. So that's the power of YouTube. She was found and discovered. Justin Bieber was discovered on YouTube. They were the lead singer for Journey. Does anybody remember Journey?
Yeah.
You still remember Journey? Yeah, he was discovered on YouTube. So it goes on and on. And then this is I'm turning 50 last month. And that's my 3-year-old. You do the math. Okay. It's all right. Did a little bit about myself. I'm 30 years in real estate. I bought my first house and I got my first real estate license in Anchorage, Alaska in 1983. So 30 years now, but most of my business has come from speaking engagements such as this, talking from crowds, from first-time home buyers to investors nationwide, and just bringing them to Austin, Texas, and buying homes, which has led to over $300 million in sales in the last 30 years, 125 million of that in the last 5 or 6 years. Okay, so, and Mark Whitmer, that is our property manager for Austin Landmark Property Services, with us today. And they manage about 220 accounts, I think, that we've given them over the years. Okay, so that's the power of finding the right connection with a couple of different property managers, and all of a sudden he has a funnel of 220 clients. So that's what I suggest you do. Find out if somebody has a pipeline and get in front of them. Written 5 books, and on my 6th book, which is going to be a bestseller because I know who I'm co-authoring it with, is Greg Reed, which is the guy who co-wrote a book with Sharon Lechter, who is the Rich Dad Poor Dad writer, so I'm pretty sure it's going to go. But the first book I wrote was on home buying secrets. Second one was on goal setting and time management. And the last 2 are video quick start guides, which are really the big download. It's a free gift that I'm going to give to you. So write this down, videoquickstartguide.com. And even if you don't write it down, I'm going to email you a copy of it anyways. So, but videoquickstartguide.com, you can go ahead and fill out the little form on there. That's what Patty was talking about, an opt-in form on a landing page, very simple, boom, and then you get a PDF of pretty much a consolidated version of what I'm talking about, actually more information than what I'm talking about here. But it's meant to be a quick read, meant to be read in 20 minutes. Because when Keller Williams International came to me and said, we want you to write a quick start guide, and I said, for realtors, it's going to be less than 30 pages, because we're just too impatient to read anything much longer than that. So it's led to me to be able to talk on stages, being video marketing has led me to be able to talk on stages for Keller Williams International, and now sort of just also regular businesses and professionals, CPAs, and also through my video marketing, also was able to get on national TV with House Hunters. Anybody remember HGTV's House Hunters? Anybody see the show? Okay. It was that was my 3rd episode of House Hunters, and a video with the doctor down here he found me through a YouTube, and he bought a house in Lakeway by watching one of my videos. I'm going to give you a little experience, do a little testimonial on that. So Okay, so I've developed the #1 video channel in the nation for real estate with over 11 million views, 10,000 subscribers, and 700 videos. It's a little overwhelming, I know, but I can tell you how to make a lot of videos really quickly, and that's what social media is looking for. It's what Google is looking for. Fresh, relevant content, quick, and lots of it. Okay? So it's KennRenner.tv, so go check it out. And there's we're going to redo our banner there, but that channel has made me about $3.2 million in additional sales in the last 12 months. So I'm going to go over the stuff with you for you. I also do other things like teach on goal setting and time management. Time management, that's funny. Goal setting, that's better. Goal and video marketing, which we're going to talk about today. Okay? So how are you going to get your message to the world? That's a big thing. How are you going to get to the top of the search? How are you going to get found? And when they find you, what are they going to find? Has anybody Googled their own name recently? I mean, you've got a common name like Eric Waldo. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's very, I mean, if you Google Scott Carson's probably a very common name. Don't you think you want to be found? So one of the easiest ways to do that is with YouTube video. I'll cover that in a second why. So, and how can you get your marketing message out for free? 24/7, 365. How can you get that marketing message out? We're talking about that with Johnny Beans here and Patrick. Get it out 24/7, 365. That's YouTube. And be able to, people can come to your website instead of seeing some static website. They're going to see an event like this where people are munching down on a whole bunch of great lasagna for Johnny Beans Catering. So, and then some testimonials. And people go, wow, that's awesome food, right? We could get that today. So my suggestion to you is get your smartphone out and get some testimonials about the food today. You already had one. He came up to me, Chris came up to me and said, oh, the food was awesome. I said, and I introduced him right there. So that's one of the more powerful videos is a testimonial video. I love to do videos at the closing table. When they're at the peak of their experience, when they're getting the keys or they're getting their check, that's where you want to get a video. And how difficult is it? We all have them. I mean, we all have these, right? Okay, and do you know you can upload your videos directly from here to your YouTube channel? Okay? I mean, just from your phone. That's why you don't have to plug it in anymore. Okay? So, YouTube's the #2 search engine in the world. What's #1?
Google.
And Google owns YouTube. So you think Google's going to favor YouTube? Why? Why does Google favor YouTube? And it's one word. Advertising. They know that if they can boost YouTube videos to the top of the search engines, they're going to get more pay-per-click ads, or people running ads on their YouTube channels. So that, and you've seen it happen. When you see a video where we'll say, view this ad for 3 seconds, and then you can skip it. People are paying for that. So Google loves YouTube. Facebook loves YouTube. Your blogs and your websites just absolutely come alive. In fact, if you don't have a video on your website or on your blog, you're going to be left behind. Honestly. In fact, they're going to think it's archaic that you don't have video. Because think about it, almost every video, every major organization that you see on a website has a video on it. So we went over these stats, but there's a gap in the market. As you see, we have real estate professionals, we have other kinds of professionals. It's usually mostly real estate, title, and mortgage. Okay. Now, if your competition isn't using YouTube and it ranks so high in the search engines, or it's just such a great way to show visually a property, or have a conversation between a lender and a realtor about the market, you're going to be left behind on. There's a gap in the market because what happens is the next person that comes out to that listing appointment is going to say, well, along with all these other services I provide, I also get your property at the top of the search engines, higher than Zillow and Realtor.com for those that are looking for homes in your area. Does that make sense? So, it's exponentially easier to rank a video on the first page of Google than with a video, really almost easier than any other way. Has anybody tried to rank their website to the top of the search engine? What were you going to say? You had a question?
Yeah, no, I do. I know it always.
And thumbnails, which is those little guys, the thumbnails that you click on, are 5 to 20 times more clickable than a text ad. People would rather watch than read, and they'd rather listen than have to read, right? And it's experiential. And guess what? It's free. Now that one video there has created an additional $110,000 in income for me. I only had to post it once. It took me about 15 minutes to make. Actually, I didn't make it. Daniel, my high-techy guy, does it. I mean, if you don't know how to do this, the YouTube stuff, I hire a 20-something because they know how to do it, right? And they're on YouTube. So that one video that for that particular neighborhood, which is my farm area, has created an additional $110,000. And it was posted in 2009. It's still up at the top of the search engines making money. So here's a little example.
Hello, my name is Kenn Renner. I'm one of Austin's top real estate brokers. Thank you for taking a minute with me to share with you some valuable information about one of my favorite Austin subdivisions, Avery Ranch. Avery Ranch is Austin's premier golf course community with 4,000 homes sprawling over 1,800 acres in the city limits of Austin. Avery Ranch features an award-winning 18-hole.
Okay, so a couple things about this video that I wanted to talk about. I'm not going to play the whole thing. You can go to Avery Ranch, find it, and you can watch it yourself. But one of the things that I've noted that I've learned, and I teach this in my workshops, is to be able to make a video with very little of me on screen. And you know why the reason is? Why I don't want to be on screen too long? Because you make a lot of mistakes. You make a lot of mistakes, and it becomes an editing issue. You have this and that. And, you know, did anybody go to my Eventbrite page and see the video that I did there? The reason why I'm popping up here and doing all this stuff is because of all the edits we have to do and take out. But what the important thing is to know is that I used photographs, and I went around and did pictures of the community and golf course, and I just took photographs, and we turned the photographs into the video. Does that make sense? So that way, all I have to do is throw, and we really throw in a bunch of videos, a bunch of photographs into my editor, and do a little magic wand that creates what's called the Ken Burns effect, which makes it come out, and come in, like that little fading, like this. You saw it, where it's fading in, fading out. It looks like it's a video, it's actually photographs. It's easy to create a video in less time than it would create for you to have to do a flyer. You know, one of those flyers that you have for a property. Or in fact, you can do it at the same time. Take the same pictures, throw it in there. So what you want to do is be on camera for the call, you notice there's call to actions. Be on camera just for that introduction. And here's why. We want to get your introduction, your call to action in the first 15 seconds. Why is that? Because people don't watch videos. Why is it?
That's all they're looking at is 15 seconds.
I don't think I've ever watched the end of that video. Seriously. So, in fact, it has a property that's probably $100,000 on the market. But one of the things we do to keep compliant is tell when that property was sold. Okay. All right. So the top of the searches, I promise you can reach the top of the page of Google or YouTube with video. It depends on what, but it depends on what. And if you're looking for Austin real estate, it might be a little bit more difficult. But if you're Googling a unique name like yourself, like Eric Waldo with a K, you'll probably be able to get to the top search engine pretty darn easy. But also, here's what I do, is I use it for property addresses. And you take a property address, that's very specific. And Google will find that YouTube video and shoot it right to the top of the search engines. Guaranteed. And sometimes I'll go on a pre-listing appointment, and I'll take a picture of the house, created a video out of it, didn't say I was listing it or marketing it, I just said, isn't this a nice house, with the address in the title, and boom, I show my seller that within 2 days, they're at the top of the search engines being found by the address. Because guess what people are doing right now? They go on their Zillow apps and their Truly apps, and they go look for open houses, and they go try to find homes on their own before they ever engage with a realtor. Well, the problem with that, with the feeds that we have, is that a lot of times our sellers are looking at that. Why does Realty Austin have my video at the top of the search engines? Because they're geniuses when it comes to SEO. Well, that's the thing, is that I don't want that. I want at least my video to the top of the search engine, right? Okay, so we talked about Googling your name. Why hasn't more people used YouTube? Okay, can you ask a question? Anybody in this room, why wouldn't you want to be on, why haven't you done a YouTube channel? No? Time.
I need to lose some weight.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah, I've got a slide for you, buddy. All right, the first reason is they think it's too difficult and time consuming. Okay, it used to be, when Daniel and I started doing videos back, before YouTube was around, it was the firewire and the cable and the tape. Remember the tapes? There was no USB ports. Now, I'm telling you, you can go to the closing table and say, hey, what do you think about your closing? Oh, I love my new house, and it was you that got it for me. Great. And then go back to your office and pump that up to YouTube without even plugging the thing in. How difficult is that? You have a high-def camera with you everywhere you go. It's really easy. And that's what I teach in my workshops. First of all, we get your YouTube channel set up, so the 90% that doesn't have a YouTube channel get one. There you go. Scott, I won't mention anything. Reason why is that you work on the truck. I realized this slide wasn't in here until about a year ago, Scott. And the reason is because I realized that video is a form of public speaking. And I realized that one of the things that people fear most is getting a bunch of people and doing public speaking. So I've got some techniques, trainings that I teach on how to get over camera shyness. Oh, a quick one? Yeah? Get over camera shyness? What do you think would be great? We're the only industry that walks around with name badges with our picture on it saying, I'm a realtor through the grocery store, right? Or on our business card, we have a picture of ourselves. So we're in the public eye. Get over being camera shy. But there's a really easy way to do it. It's called doing an interview. So I put the camera here, and I'll show you one of these examples of it. Put the camera here, and I stand here, and I'm talking over here. Have you noticed like CNN, and they do interviews about somebody telling a story? It's like the camera's here, and we're like observing the conversation. And just have Mark ask questions. Hey, so what do you specialize in? Oh, great. All right, that part of town? Okay, what's so special about that part of town? There's how you get over it. And I'm not looking at the camera, I'm talking to him, and the camera is the observer. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Done. You can always answer questions to a friend. Don't see a return on the investment. Another thing I gotta do, right? That's just another thing I gotta do. Now, your competition's gonna be doing it. So, in our workshops that we're gonna have right here at ABOR coming up in March, we will show you how to do all the stuff that I'm talking about in this quick presentation. How would you like people to say, I already know you, come on over, let's do business. That's literally how a lot of my listing appointments go. If I already checked you out, I watched all your stuff, I know you, I talked to a few people, saw your videos, come on over. So I sat in the listing appointment, as I always do at the end, going, well, first of all, at the beginning, how'd you find me? Who can I thank? He said, I just saw a video, I just dialed in a real estate expert, and he popped up. I said, well, who else are you going to interview? He goes, interview? He says, but I like what we're talking about, and I like what I hear. I'm not going to interview anybody else. Here's the paperwork, sir. The bottom line is that I didn't have to be in competition. The video did all the work for me, did all the heavy lifting. And you become the authority. Anybody that's an author or wants to be an author, you can become the authority. I know Scott, you do videos, right? And you become, we actually, in my books, have QR codes and bit.ly little shortened URLs that will lead to a video of me talking about that chapter. Now, isn't that cool? Where your book comes alive, or if it's on a Kindle where they can just click on it, all of a sudden a YouTube video pops up, and there's the author talking about that particular subject. It's cool stuff. People want to deal with specialists. They want to deal with specialists. And one of the things great about Google and YouTube is that when people search, let's say you're searching for a particular item, they start off with what we call short tag, right? Short phrase. Then they go to, we don't scroll down the page anymore, do we? If we don't get what we find within the first 3 entries, we add a little bit more to it, right? So for my business, might be Avery Ranch golf course homes, Avery Ranch golf course homes, or Avery Ranch real estate expert. And those are called long tail phrases. 80% of long tail phrases, 80% of searches are long tail phrases. Really easy to rank at the top of the search engines with YouTube and Google with long tail searches. But you gotta know what to do, how to get there. You gotta know how to do that. So you can become a specialist and say, catering for North Austin catering experts with coffee. I don't know, espresso, whatever it is. You know your business better than I do. So it helps you become the relationship builder. This is one of my coaching clients. She has, her name is Azure Skincare. Her name is Azure, and she's downtown. And this video pops at the very top of the search engines if you dial in Austin Skincare Active. And if you notice how I title it, it's titled very, very keyword friendly for what the person is going to type into the search engines. I try to find out exactly what they're going to type in the search engines. And there's some tools that are offered online to be able to do that. okay? To be able to see what are people typing in. But you probably know your client just as well. What would they type in to find it? And the key here is the first 20 characters of the 100-character title of a YouTube video is the best SEO juice you can possibly have, other than pay-per-click, which you pay a ton of money to have. Did you get that first 20 characters? So that's why we're very specific about those first 20 characters.
I'm Azure Villa. I'm the owner of Azure Skin Spa.
Notice this stuff. It's called the rule of thirds, where she's kind of off.
I've been in the skincare industry for 9 years now. I brought that with me to Austin 6 years ago. So this location, we've been here for 3 years. We provide our clients with a very unique experience. It's very different from what you would expect from a day spa experience as far as skincare goes.
Now let me give you an example of what I did with her. She has never done a video in her life. And the whole thing was, if you noticed, she was standing here, and I was standing here asking her those questions, and the camera was here. No problem, done. Right, just when we were in and out of there in 20 minutes? And so now I co-market with her, and I put it out to my database, right, those networks, and she co-markets it just like Patty was talking about. And she's, well, I'm going to put up, I've got somebody, what's the first thing they're going to say if they don't have a ready agent to refer? This lady sees a lot of people through her skincare business. If she doesn't have a ready agent that she's going to refer, guess what? I'm hoping with all the extra stuff that I'm doing, co-branding and co-marketing with her, that she would use me.
I want to update her address. She moved.
What's that?
I want to update her address.
She moved?
She's not in Dallas.
She's still in Austin, right? Okay. Well, that's what's important. Is the phone number still there?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like customers will say, it's like I already know you. Okay, and this is very true. This has happened to me over and over. And guess who is one of the most important people that I want to impress when it comes to a large company? Who would that be? Oh, the receptionist. Because they're the gatekeeper to the company. And I tell you, when I go to a company, if I can't get in to see the CEO, I'll get the card of the receptionist and make sure I invite her to be on my YouTube channel, or that she gets my videos, because she's going to say, it's like I already know you. And this happens time and time again. Has anybody seen my videos before out there? Okay. And does it seem like it's like you're already starting the relationship process? Okay. Thanks, Scott. I appreciate it. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. Okay, so picture this: testimonials of raving fans. This is Dr. Hofarth and Krista, Dr. and Mrs. Kevin from Lake Tahoe, California.
Yeah, we're going to be.
We're in Lake Town, like way.
Yeah, we just got a house. We're thrilled. We met Ken through. Actually, I saw a Lakeway Regional Medical Center video, and I was looking for a job, and he was doing his video, and so I thought, wow, this is a realtor who knows this area and is also up on. So we been very happy with Ken, and we got a house in like a day and a half. That's my kind of let's get things going. And he sifted through the BS and got right to the point, and we found the area very quickly. I like that. Got to the point. Found a house. He listened really well, and now we're deciding our life away.
So isn't that cool? Now I didn't do that just to be some kind of one of the things, the best thing about a testimonial video, which you notice there's no camera shyness there, right? Because I wasn't even on camera. But I just simply asked them how their experience was. And it wasn't about a big ego trip for me, because this is all about you guys. I'm teaching this stuff. I'm right here in this town. People go like, why are you teaching everybody else? It's your competition. Why are you teaching them? Because I really am passionate about teaching it, and it works for all industries. Realtors are actually hard to sell to. Did you know that? So I'm doing it with all industries. Okay, so, but what it is I ask them questions at the peak of their experience right when they bought the home, and I co-purpose the video. If you dial in Rough Hollow Austin or Rough Hollow, you'll find my YouTube videos right there. And I simply ask them for permission, can I go ahead and post those videos on YouTube? There, or at the closing table, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be, right? Sometimes I do videos in my car, because the other place I want people to be is in my car. So I just want you to realize that catch catch people at the peak of their experience, ask them questions, and then let the third-party testimonial say how good you are rather than you standing there going, I'm the best realtor in town. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I take it one step further. Is now that I've got a family doctor who's relatively young, who had built up a huge amount of patients at the hospital, do you think it might be a good idea that I go and do some more videos for him, talking about his business, talking about the hospital, talking about, he's told me that with one of these videos that he got 3 new patients in a 6-month period. Now, what's the lifetime value to a doctor of a patient? Really, I think I'm high on the list of his for potential referrals of realtors, right? I'm looking for that, hey, great, you got 3 patients. Who do you know that's thinking about buying them? So, how do I get started? How do I get it right? Well, I'm going to tell you. I've discovered the methods. I've done this so long. Dan and I, like I said, he's my editor and my IT guy. We go way back doing these videos before YouTube was even around. I've got it down to a science to make it easy. Because here's what the thing. Realtors, mortgage people, busy caterers, they don't have the time, okay? So you gotta make it easy, you gotta make it quick, and you gotta make it relevant and good. So, I'm gonna go with some tips here for you real quick. Title your video properly for best search engine results. I already told you what that is. The first 20 characters in a YouTube video. Big time SEO juice. I did a video, and I put, knowing that there's 3,500 jobs coming to our farmer corridor with Apple, don't you think it would be kind of important as a realtor to get in front of the Apple building and talk about all these 3,500 employees and hopefully become their realtor because they're going to need jobs? I mean, there's 3,500 jobs. 3,500 homes are going to be sold. Well, who's going to get in front of them? I literally went and took pictures of the Apple facility while it was under construction, and then I spoke in my car. Hey, I think there's it's really cool. We're sitting outside.
This is Kenn Renner, real estate expert. I'm sitting out in front of the brand new Apple facility that's being built in North Austin off of Palmer Lane. It's a $300 million facility that's potentially eventually going to house 3,500 jobs here in the North Austin area. So that's really exciting for us in Austin. It's
okay, so you get the idea. It was a less than a 60-second video, and at the very end, it was 60 seconds, I did my call to action at the end, but the bottom line is that my phone number is on there. That video stayed on the first page and posted to the top of the search engines for about 9 months, right at the top when you got on Apple Jobs Austin. Now, how long did that take me to make? Took some pictures with this and talked to my camera, wasn't a little jiggly, and uploaded it to YouTube. Done. And it's there making me money 24/7, 365, free for those that are looking for Apple Jobs Austin. Ninja secrets. Okay. Obviously, testimonials like you saw with the doctor. I love at the closing table. This is a cute little video we did at the closing table. Then this is really fun. This is a gal out of Denver. Her name is Jennifer Pollock. She went to the grand opening of a wine store in Denver. That's a pretty good place to network, a grand opening of a wine store. And they had some rosé party that was going on, a big rosé party. And what they had was, it's a great video, if you go see it, they had David Bowie impersonator as the person that was there, and they showed the David Bowie guy with his pink boots about this tall. Okay. So, how to create this? Okay, one of the things is like, how am I going to do all this? How am I going to create all this content? This is just one more thing I got to do. Okay, let me tell you something really easy. Has anybody done a webinar before? Okay, a couple of people. All right, it's not very difficult to do, right? Right? Isn't it very difficult to do a webinar? Okay. Well, you could, or how many people have actually done a presentation at an office? Okay, so, you've all done a presentation, videotape a presentation. Okay, so maybe it's 30 minutes like this one, or 40 minutes this is ending up to be. Well, videotape it, and then slice up the video into little chunks. So that, and then keyword phrase them based on the subjects that you were talking about. Like for instance, on a webinar, you might have a slide like this, and I might talk about this tip number 4. It only lasts for a minute and a quarter, right? Take that, so it's an hour-long webinar. You take that and slice it up into 61 minutes. It's really easy. You take the editor and go. Then you upload it to YouTube, title it differently, so that it's found everywhere for that particular keyword. Like for instance, if you go to YouTube and download Austin Real Estate Investments, if you go to YouTube, number 2 search engine in the world, you're not going to see anything but about 20 out of 25 videos. And some of the videos that I have on there were uploaded in 2006. On the first page for Austin real estate investment. You think that's important? You guys can do this too. Who works Circle C? Anybody work Circle C? You work Circle C area? Well, why they say, why are you telling your competition about this? I don't work Circle C. Go do that with Circle C. It's a wide open market. All right, so yeah, here, Austin real estate investment. You can try it yourself. You can do it on your big old laptop and check it out. All these videos. And this, we sold Maria, who became a Reagan fan. She watched my Austin webinar on real estate investment. It's one of those calls. I've already seen all your video. I saw all the stats. I had all the stats in there on the charts. And she goes, I'd like to get involved in real estate investing. She bought 3 homes last summer from us. And you know what? I'm really bummed. She likes it so much, she's getting a real estate license. All right, I'm in the stage, too long, too perfect. I think Tanya was talking about being too long, too perfect. It's not deep. Don't worry about it. We're authentic. That's what Google and YouTube. In fact, if it's too newsworthy, if it looks too much like a newscast, people don't trust it anymore, right? We don't trust do we trust the news? Last night I was cringing that they said there was going to be a 1/10 of an inch accumulation. Over and over and over, 1/10 of an inch, and you guys blazed through it. Okay, and too long, too perfect. Short is good because people have short attention spans online. They want authentic, relevant, short, informative, not too slick, but not garbagey either. You can't put out garbage. Have you seen those videos of people walking through a house? Right? It's no good. It's not good. But there's easy ways to do it. Why not just take the virtual tour pictures that you paid $125 for, that are very professionally done, and put them into into an editor that takes you about 3 minutes, and then turn it into a video and upload it, and now you got this virtual video. Incredible way. Okay? And they come to you and say, it's like I already know you. We use flip cams, we use the easy stuff. You've got a high-def camera in your pocket. Use it. Upload it today. Okay? You don't even need a video camera. You can do all the photographs. It still comes out pretty nice. I use webcams. Does everybody have a webcam? I mean, if you don't, they're pretty cheap, but most laptops are coming with webcams. That's probably one of the easiest ways to start doing used to being in front of a camera. Just start doing some video vlogs, talking about your business with a webcam. Video on smartphones, we talked about that. Camera placement. Something I talked about in my workshop. You'll notice, I call this the rule of thirds. Notice I'm talking to the camera, or I might be talking offline. Let me teach all that because a lot of times it's easier just to show it than try to talk about it. And so why do I have a tripod? It's steady, but also, what does it require? It requires one last person, right? So you go anywhere and set up a tripod and get in front of it and start doing video. Okay, some of the things that are also free, but you guys, to build that one-on-one relationship that I'm telling you is incredible, is Skype. Skype is free. Okay, Justin and I have a speaker coach that we met in Toronto, Canada. Every Saturday morning, we're talking face-to-face to Toronto, Canada. Mike Meany and I, face-to-face, screen sharing. He shows me his screen about VIP orbits, and I learn from it. And I mean, this is face-to-face, and it's free. It was $2. I went with my 20th anniversary with my wife. I went to Aruba. It was $2 a minute to make a phone call. I was on my Skype, my iPad, face-to-face with my friends at home and staff for free. Amazing stuff, right? So going out of the country, get a Skype and forget the phone calls. Snag it, screen capture. What a great, I just sent out 2 CMAs, comparative market analysis. I walked the client through how I did the CMA, right? The market analysis, showing the inside of all the competitors' house and why this house had all the wood floors and this one didn't. This one had a pool, this one didn't. Rather than just coming with a paper at the closing, at the listing appointment going, well, here's a couple of the MLS listings. I actually showed them how I came up with the value. And guess what? It's free. Jing Project is free. It's limited to 5 minutes. It's called jingproject.com. Jing. Snag it. It's $49 one time, and you can do as long videos as you want. And it'll capture your screen, and you'll be able to. It's great for a relocation, right? Go on Google Earth, and you can talk on the phone. Go on Google Earth. Yeah, well, let me show you a little bit about the neighborhood. Let me show you a little bit about what Scott does for his investing. Let me show you a little bit about that. Let me run through some stuff on the screen. Join.me. Does anybody use Join.me? Okay. Join that. You guys know what it's all about. Join.me is a screen share where you can see their screen and I can see their. I can see your screen. We can switch screens, so we can actually have a meeting, and we can be, like I said, not even in the same country. And they can actually see what I'm seeing. That's also free. Google Hangouts. Tell you one thing. Google Hangouts is slamming to the top of the search engines. When you record a Google Hangout and load it to your YouTube channel, which is where it goes, its SEO value is huge, and we just started to scratch the surface. So guess what? Google Hangouts is free. Okay. We also have done broadcasting, live broadcasting from my YouTube channel. The Wealth event that we had last November was a live stream with using Google Hangouts from my YouTube channel. Free. Like, I called Eric Swanson, a promoter and he was driving. I have to tell this. He was driving from Toronto to Nashville to the other event that we were speaking at. And he put it on his iPad. He was driving, but he put it on his iPad and he watched the event while driving, streaming on his iPad. He goes, "How do you do that?" I go, "Come to my workshop, I'll show you." Okay, Ustream, event broadcasting is another live broadcast. We get to broadcast this live for free, worldwide. Great way to get from. We do it for office meetings, right? For anybody who has an office meeting, and Mark, you can't make it, and Mike had done a video or a streaming. You've been at home, like today, be home, and there you go, a live stream with Ustream. Video email, bye. Anybody use video email? You're good at it. You do it all the time. Well, yeah, so video email. Isn't that fun? Isn't that a great way to build a relationship? Where it's you talking, "Hey, I'm just glad I'm going to be meeting with you on Friday. Just want to let you know, there's a relationship started building right there." Almost all videos, all emails going to go to video eventually. Really. I mean, we even use YouTube to do video email. It's free. All right. A little bit about content, and then I'm going to roll through because I'm running out of time here. What are you trying to target? Don't just do videos for the sake of doing videos. Be specific about it. Short is good, funny is good. Short and funny is great. This guy's a network marketing guy that I met at a network meeting, right? Go figure. And there he is. Sullivan guy. So he's become one of my coaching clients as well. Really funny. We can create great videos. It pops up. People want to watch that video, right? So, okay, so I'm going to give you some quick videos, the types of videos that make you money. Branding. Testimonial. That's my favorite. Let somebody else tell how great you are, not you telling me how great you are. How-to trainings. I think that's Justin making a pizza at his pizza shop. It's the old pizza shop. He's progressed. Informational. That's the videos that I did. If you notice, the upload date was December 5th, 2007. Still cranks to the top of the search engines for Austin real estate investments. Transactional, where you help go into this. This is the doctor's house from the doctor that bought the house found me on YouTube. Well, that video, you want to go home, go down there and take a video of my house. It's being constructed. I'm here in the tower. I want to see it every week. I go down and do a video. Guess what he did with those videos? He sent it out on social media. Hey, look at my new house being built. Guess what? Talk about networking. Talk about somebody doing the work for you, carrying the heavy load. PR, be the news. If you don't know what to say, people would say, "I don't know what to talk about." Grab a newspaper article and start talking about it. Co-branding. It's where you get with your loan officer. Start talking about the market. This is really easy. Set up a tripod, talk about the market. Hey, what's the new thing going on? What's the big issue? QA, qualified mortgage. Scaring the bejeebies out of the lending community because they could be this guy could be personally held responsible for saying that this person actually does make enough money to pay that loan back. 3 years, right?
Yeah.
You told me I could afford that loan. I want $100,000 back. Okay, products and services, management and administration. Why not show the people how to make a pizza on your as a boss? Show your employees how to do it. That's what we do. It's called a video operations manual. Daniel has a video operations. Everything he does online, we have an operations manual that I go, in case he can't make it in, I know how to set up an e-blast. I go back to that video and watch it. Meet the team. This is what we just did recently, and it was a lot of fun. Bloopers are great. I'm going to show you the blooper that we had for Mary, my assistant back there. Just kidding, I won't do it. Videos of lifestyle is another thing. Is that I just carry your camera everywhere. And just if you see something interesting, your life is interesting, take a video of it real quick. Put it on Facebook. Now I guess with my news feed on my phone, it's actually playing the video in real time. I don't know. It's pretty cool. But the world's going to video. You got to get there. You need to be there. I'm going to teach you how to do it. I'm not going to go into this, but really put videos everywhere online and offline. Send a Craigslist ad with a video. You can even, I should have text a video. You ever texted a video? Pretty cool. You just text a little thing, and guess what? Fully optimized. That means that when the YouTube video comes up, it fits in the window. It's not automatically. You can click on the link and boom, video fits right there. There's no scrolling, no pinching. You get your message out immediately. Okay. Video SEO, offline print. We do a lot of stuff offline print. Okay. So I've done all the work with you for you. Video marketing works. I'm obviously a little bit passionate about it. Extra 3.2 million in sales last year. That's not too bad. One video is maybe 110 grand, and you can do it too. That's the whole bottom line. It's just you got to do a time block and spend an extra 5 minutes a day doing it. I'm going to help you not waste any resources, not waste time. It's quick. I'm going to teach you how to do it quick and easy. I am a technophobe. I'm allergic to computers. Daniel can attest to that. In fact, when I walk into the room, the computer seems to break down. That's why I am a full-time tech guy. In fact, this computer last night, Murphy's Law, right? This actual presentation was corrupted right when I finished the last sentence. That's how technophobic I am. So we actually got it to play, but that was good. So vidcoaching.com is my website. You can get my video quick start guide there. You can also sign up for my free webinar, which is next Wednesday, which is going to be video ninja secrets of a video YouTube guy. It works. Coaching saves time, effort, money. So it's vidcoaching.com. What it is, it's 6 hours of video modules teaching you everything that I've done for my coaching clients in Keller Williams International, for people nationwide that I've taught them how to do this. Now that's how they're video modules, so you can follow right along, and we create more as we go. We also do weekly group Q&A coaching on a webinar, and that Q&A coaching really is great to be able to answer more questions that you might have. So they're all recorded for playback, so you can go visit them again. They're subcategorized. And I put your videos on my channel. Do you think that would be kind of cool, with having your videos on my channel, so you get all the marketing exposure? You think I would be out? I'm speaking nationally, out promoting my channel, and you guys are going to be on it. So it's one of those sharing of the list kind of things that Patty's talking about. So what are they saying about Kenn's coaching program?
Hi, this is John Chicky. I'm a financial advisor in Dallas, Texas, actually Plano, Texas. I specialize in boomer planning. Give us a holler when you're up in Plano, or even better if you live there. That would be fun. Now, I've just finished some sessions here with Kenn Renner and his very capable helper who works in the technology here at Daniel. And they've done a spectacular job. 1, tutoring me how to properly shoot a video. 3, how to actually put together a YouTube TV station, how to upload the things, add music, how to edit it. It's been an amazing afternoon. I highly recommend you take advantage of that if you're still marketing your business. And even though I've been in this business for 25 years, I'm still as excited about it as I ever was, and happy to learn new things from Kenn and Daniel. Give Kenn Renner a call after your convenience.
Thank you, John. Thanks, John. Thank you back there. My thanks up there. That was pretty good. He did that the first time. That's what we're pretty darn impressed. We just did this in our office at Keller Williams in the conference room. So that's what we're going to be doing actually here in March. But we're going to even go one more step further. All right, so online coaching modules, 6 hours of recorded material, go from 0 to hero. And I teach you everything that I know how to do. You can do that online. I'm not going to go over the modules for the sake of time. You can go to the website and check it out, vidcoaching.com. But I will tell you that everything that I've talked about so far and more will be covering. So the online package is already set up for you to go and watch it, go watch the videos and learn the tutorials. And I have a lot of people already on this coaching program. They want to kind of do it at their own pace. They want to go ahead and learn this whole video marketing without going to a lot of expense and a lot of time and training. And they want to check it out. And it's a great way to get started. So I offer that for $297, and there's a whole lot of value that goes into it. You know, we're looking at It took us hours and hours and hours to boil that down. I mean, hundreds of coaching sessions to boil down to exactly what you need to do. And it works for any business. It's not just real estate. And so on top of that, we have a free video coaching webinar, okay, which is next Wednesday, January 29th at 12 noon. Ninja Secrets of a YouTube Marketer, where I'm going to go into a lot more depth than what I was able to do in this little short session. Really show you some more examples, really get you started, get you excited, get you pumped. Then this is what I'm really excited about is Platinum Live. That is going to be held here at the Austin Board of Realtors March 13th and 14th. Okay? And that's a Thursday, Friday. And it's right here. I walked in the Board of Realtors and they have 18 computers sitting there. And I said, this is awesome. Because, you know, here's what happens with a lot of the online coaching clients. They kind of drop off and they don't do the work. They say, well, why don't you just do it for me or show me how to do it? Well, that's what we're going to be doing. Is I've got all these computers right in another room over here. We're going to do the tutorials, everything done in real time. We're going to set up your Skype. We're going to set up your YouTube. We're going to set up your GoToMeeting. We're going to set up everything that you're not using right now, and also teach you how to edit. Everything's right there. It's a 2-day intensive. It's called immersion. We're going to immerse you in how to do this video stuff. So, 13th and 14th, Austin Board of Realtors, 2 hands-on. Daniel and I will be there. We actually have a couple of videographers that couldn't make it to the storm today. They'll be there as well. We're going to go teach you all the filming techniques, editing, best practices, stuff that makes it so much easier for you to do this. So rather than trying to do this over a 6-week period with my video and online modules, which is great, you can do it in a 2-day period. Does that make sense? Okay? So, we're also going to set up a green screen in another conference room. What is a green screen? It allows me to put any kind of background behind you, and we're going to go ahead and shoot the videos as well. We're going to do a business card video. We're going to do a mini resume video. And with the techniques that I showed you, make it really easy. You're like, I don't want to be on camera. Well, guess what? We're also going to have a makeup artist there to be able to do hair and that. So you look like Scott Carson, makeup artist. You just got that. So anyways, we actually have a makeup artist to get you make it look good. And we'll shoot the videos right there with the testimonial videos for you. We're going to have a lot of fun. Because that's the whole thing is people are like, well, this seems like a lot of work. Well, it is, but once you, I don't know even what kind of videos I want to shoot. We're going to walk you through it, and we'll have a green screen set up, and then you can have any background behind you want. You can be standing on the top of the Eiffel Tower with these green screens. This is what they use at the newscasters for the weather, right?
Yep.
Those weather guys. Okay. So 3 categories: videos, high-def branding videos, business videos, elevator speech video, testimonial videos. We have these networking. Is our elevator speech, right? And so 2 days immersion video training, hands-on. All the marketing tools set up for you. 3 to 7 high-def pro videos created on-site with green screen or natural settings. Look, the sun's out, everybody. Woohoo! Great time. Outside's a great place to take videos as well. We'll be able to do that if the weather permits. So normally for me to do this, I've just got back from the Dwyer Group. My normal 1-day fee for consulting for a corporation is $7,000. I'm sorry, it's $3,500 a day. It's $3,500 a day, $5,000 a week. And I'm coached the Dwyer Group of large companies and other ones. And so for me to take 2 days out of my time, it's about $7 grand. It's consulting. Like I sat down and actually went over your shoulder, like Daniel and I did a couple weeks ago. But I'm going to do all that for $15.97. It's normally $24.97. It's $15.97. It doesn't sound like a lot, but you can't even get a video crew to come out and take a decent video for you for less than $1,000, $1,500. So if you want me to spend 2 days with you, hands-on, looking over your shoulder, showing you how to do this, that's what I'm there for you today. And so you've got a handout that's on the other side of the free workshop. So if you take a look at that, if anyone wants to join me with that, I'll be available to help you with that. I know that John Checky, he's a platinum client, so he's coming back, coming from Dallas, right? There's 3 other platinum clients that I have. If you buy the online version, which is fine, and you like what you see and you want to go to the Platinum Live on March 13th, 14th, I'll credit you the online version price, okay? So, all right, so that's it. Hope I made it in time. One-on-one coaching time. All right, thank you, appreciate it. Thank you so much. And you can join us. I'll be back. We have